Hey everyone. So, you've probably heard a lot of people talking about early retirement lately. Imagine it. No more clocking in every day, no more dealing with emails and meetings. Just endless free time to do whatever you want. Sounds like the dream, right? But hold up, before you start planning your exit from the workforce, let's take a closer look at the reality of early retirement. It might not be the paradise people think it is. Today, I'm going to dive into 5 big reasons why early retirement could actually be scarier than it seems. Now, don't get me wrong. The idea of retiring early is super tempting. Who doesn't want the freedom to explore new hobbies, travel the world, or just kick back? But as with most things in life, it's not all sunshine and beach vacations. There are some very real risks that could come with pulling the plug too soon. So, let's break down these 5 key reasons why early retirement might not be as amazing as it sounds. First things first, let's talk about money. It's the foundation of early retirement, right? But here's the thing, retiring early means you need to make sure your savings last even longer. And let's be honest, most people don't really think about how quickly that money can disappear. Let me break it down for you. According to a survey by Allianz Life in 2024, 63% of Americans are more worried about running out of money than actually dying. Crazy, right? But it makes sense when you think about it. The earlier you retire, the longer your money needs to last. Let's say you've saved up $2 million and you plan to retire at 65. You can spread that $2 million out over 25 years, which is about $80,000 a year to live on. But if you decide to retire at 55, now you've got 35 years to stretch that same $2 million. That's a huge difference. And if you don't carefully manage your spending or adjust to a more frugal lifestyle, you could run into problems. In fact, people often end up dipping into their savings faster than they planned, especially if they're not factoring in inflation, emergencies, or unexpected costs. Let's talk about another major cost that can throw a wrench in your early retirement plans: healthcare. Healthcare is one of the biggest expenses for older Americans. But here's the kicker: if you retire early, you're on your own for a while before you can qualify for Medicare. Fidelity estimates that a 65-year-old retiring in 2024 will spend about $165,000 on healthcare throughout their retirement. That's already a massive chunk of change. But imagine you retire at 55 and don't get access to Medicare until you're 65. You'll have to buy your own health insurance for 10 years. And trust me, private health insurance isn't cheap. In fact, it can be way more expensive than what people think. On top of your premiums, you might also be paying for high deductibles and co-pays, which can eat into your savings faster than you expect. Think about it. That decade of expensive private insurance could cost you tens of thousands of dollars, leaving you with less money for other things like travel, entertainment, or just enjoying your retirement. Okay, now let's get into something that people rarely talk about when it comes to retirement: boredom. It's easy to romanticize the idea of endless free time, but without the structure of work, life can feel, well, pretty empty. Let's be honest, work is more than just a paycheck. For many people, it's also about routine, purpose, and social connections. When you retire early, you lose all of that. Imagine waking up every day without a job to go to, without meetings or deadlines, and without those little office conversations that make the day go by. It's easy to get restless. I can speak from experience. While I work from home as a writer, my job gives me structure, deadlines, and goals. Without it, I'd probably feel lost and definitely a lot more lonely. And I know I'm not the only one who'd struggle with this. When people retire early, especially if they don't have kids at home, they sometimes find themselves isolated. They miss the social interactions they had at work, and without that, boredom can set in quickly. And let's be real, no one wants to spend their retirement waiting for something to do. Speaking of isolation, let's dive into the social side of things. Losing your job means you lose a lot of your daily social connections too. Work is more than just about earning a paycheck. It's where most of us build friendships, network, and meet new people. When you retire early, unless you've planned out a strong social life outside of work, you might end up feeling lonely or disconnected from the world. And trust me, that can affect your mental and emotional well-being. Staying socially engaged in retirement takes effort. It's not as easy as showing up at an office every day. So, if you're someone who thrives on human interaction, you might want to think carefully about how you'll stay connected once you stop working. Last but not least, lifestyle changes. Retiring early doesn't just affect your finances, it changes everything about how you live your day-to-day life. Going from a 9 to 5 routine to a life of freedom might sound exciting, but it can also be a huge adjustment. Suddenly you don't have a structured day anymore. No meetings, no deadlines, no boss telling you what to do. And while that might sound great at first, it can get overwhelming. Some people thrive on this kind of freedom. But if you're someone who's used to a busy life, the sudden switch might leave you feeling a little lost. What do you do with all that extra time? How do you fill your days without it feeling like an endless cycle of what's next? It's a big lifestyle shift and not everyone adjusts to it smoothly. So there you have it, 5 reasons why early retirement might actually be scarier than it seems. From financial stress to losing social connections, and the boredom that can come with too much free time, it's important to think through the full picture before you make that leap. Sure, early retirement sounds great in theory, but you need to make sure your financial, social, and personal needs are covered. Thanks for tuning in. If you're considering early retirement, make sure you've got a solid plan in place. And if you want more tips on personal finance, lifestyle changes, or just navigating life in general, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video.